Hi guys, good morning. Good morning everyone. Hi Tina, good morning. Okay guys, so we'll wait for a few more people to join in, just about for a minute or so, and then we'll start with today's recipe. Hi Anita. Hi everyone, good morning. Okay, so about today's recipe, we're gonna make an egg-free caramelized white chocolate blondie. And I made this 2 Diwalis before as a part of my festive hamper, and everybody literally loved it so much. It's a little bit of labor, but the taste is worth it. So I'm going to be sharing that precious recipe with you guys. Okay, so we have quite a bit of people online. So before I start, Tina is doing this amazing Incredible India Cake magazine, and the August month version is going to be bomb, because it's going to be like a collaboration edition of all the artists across the world, and you can get a chance to win that for free if you can share this live across 5 groups or more, food groups basically. So share it across as many groups as possible and stand a chance to win that amazing magazine by Tina. So I think we have quite a number of people here. Today my day is quite packed, so this live is going to be not very long, it's going to be short. So just stay tuned. I will be resetting as and when people keep joining in. So now let's get started with the recipe, guys. Okay, so I'm just going to hand over this phone to my intern. Okay. Yeah, just. Okay, you're able to see? Everyone's able to see everything? Okay, guys, so we're going to start with the blondie recipe itself. Okay, so I have weighed out all my ingredients. The measurements are exactly the same as what the recipe card says. It's been already uploaded by Tina. So in a bowl, just have a sieve, and we are going to sieve out the dry ingredients. So I'm using all-purpose flour or maida. So you can also, in this recipe, you can make this with whole wheat also. Since it's going to be a blondie and we don't need it to be super fluffy, if you want to make it tad bit more healthier, you can very well use whole wheat flour. So to this I'm also going to add some salt. Okay, I'm going to add some baking soda, and I'm going to add baking powder. Now just sieve this through. Sieving will help disperse the leavening agents and also, take out any lumps, if any. So if you want to make this blondie, into a brownie, you can just take out a little bit of flour and substitute that with a good quality dark cocoa powder. That will give you a great, amazing brownie. So this blondie is not very fudgy, it's almost like cakey texture. It's a little bit light because we are baking powder, baking soda, etc. So when you have leavening agents, the brownie or the blondie will always end up being a little cakey, on the cakier side. So all my dry ingredients are sifted out. So I'm going to take another bowl. Meanwhile, the oven is also preheating at about 170 degrees for about 10 minutes. So this recipe is quite a quick recipe, so just preheat the oven before you get started. So now I have some melted butter. So if you want, you can make this recipe with brown butter also. Brown butter is when you just take the butter in a saucepan and just heat it until the milk solids in the butter caramelizes and becomes nice and brownish in color and very aromatic. It has a very nutty flavor profile to it, so you can brown the butter and use if you want like a really nice flavor profile to it. So I'm just using melted butter here, and to this I'm going to be adding some dark brown sugar. Try to use dark brown sugar. The darker the brown sugar, the more deeper the flavor of the blondie will be. Okay, so added that, and I also have some yogurt. So what I'm going to do to the yogurt is, before adding it, you can see that it's like a curd. Yes, basically dahi. So I'm just going to whisk it to make it smooth first. If you want it to be more creamier, you can also use Greek yogurt or hung curd. Just hang the dahi, you know, overnight in a cheesecloth, and you can just take off all the moisture and then just use the hung curd part, the thicker part of it, creamier part of it. Okay, so now the curd has become nice and creamy. So I'm going to first just mix up the dark brown sugar and the butter first quickly. Okay, so if there are any questions, my intern will read it out to me. Any questions, Roshan?
Can we make a fudgy version too?
Yeah, you can make a fudgy version, but that would involve a different recipe. This is going to be a little more on the cakier side. Why I'm doing a cakier side? Because I want the base to be slightly lighter, because the caramelized white chocolate ganache is going to be super rich and super creamy and very heavy also. So I just want to do a lighter version of it.
One more question.
Yeah.
How to make it with egg?
Well, this is an egg-free recipe. So if you want to do an egg recipe, you can look up any recipe of blondie with eggs. But since this is an egg-free version, there's not going to be any egg substitute for it. Okay, so guys, I also have an e-learning platform. It's called kartikashravanti.com. You can log on to my website and see the various courses I have. If you're looking to sharpen your basics, I have a couple of bundles: traditional cakes masterclass bundle and an egg-free traditional cakes masterclass bundle. Both of them are like super extensive, very comprehensive courses. If you want a solid set of recipes to set up your business, you can go have a look at it. Right now it's going on launch price, so you can check it out and let me know if you want to enroll. Okay, so I have added the dahi or the curd or the yogurt. If you have a hand mixer also, you can feel free to run the hand mixer in this. Okay, so we have the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients side by side. Just going to add all the dry to this, and I'm going to just gently, you can either fold it or whisk it to form a batter. Try not to overmix or overbeat this. It's going to come together in a few seconds. So to this, it's optional. You can add white chocolate callets if you wish, or you can add dark chocolate callets also, or milk, whatever chocolate callets you want to add, you can do that. Okay, so the dough has come together.
You have one more question.
Yeah.
Can we use ghee and salt instead of butter?
Ghee is going to give a different flavor profile. I haven't tried it in this recipe, but you guys can do that. Ghee is going to be completely fat, whereas butter will have milk solids in it, so that will definitely alter the flavor profile. Okay, so I'm going to add this batter. This is a 7-inch ring. You can also use an 8-inch ring if you want the blondie to be slightly thinner. Any other questions? Okay, so I'm just going to...
One more.
Yeah.
Can we make this one as gluten-free?
You can make anything gluten-free, sugar-free, egg-free. You can make it whatever you want, but just it's not this recipe. Sorry guys, this is just an egg-free recipe. So See, if you want to make anything specially like gluten-free, egg-free, sugar-free, feel free to experiment with the recipes that you have. Only if you experiment, you'll know what ingredients play what role and understand what they do in a recipe and then try it out. Don't go hunting for the recipes, because the main fundamentals lie in understanding the ingredients. That comes by trial and practice, not by hunting for recipes. Alright, so I have, okay, so these black bits are actually brown sugar. Since I weighed them down today morning, they've clumped up a little bit. I'm just going to remove them. So if you're using dark brown sugar, make sure to weigh it out at the last minute. Okay, so this is done. Now I'm going to push this in the oven. It's been preheated to around 160 to 170. So we are going to keep this for around 20 to 25 minutes. It should be done by 20 to 25 minutes. And we will do the same skewer test to understand if it's done or not right in the middle. So I'm just going to put it in the middle, guys. Just give me a second. Okay. It's...
One more question.
Yeah.
Can we use jaggery powder?
Yeah, you can use jaggery powder also in this recipe. Dark brown sugar and jaggery has a very similar texture, flavor profile to it, so you can very well use jaggery powder. Okay, alright, so as it's baking in the oven, we are going to move on to the caramelized white chocolate bar. I'm going to just take the induction here, and I have that white chocolate. Okay, so we are going to caramelize. We are going to be caramelizing Calibu white callets. So just add it into the saucepan all at once. So white chocolate has got milk solids, it's got sugar, it's got cocoa butter, and it's got an emulsifier. So by heating it, what you do is you kind of caramelize the milk solids as well as the sugar the content in the in the white chocolate. Yeah.
What is shelf life of this?
Shelf life of anything is 3 days, guys. Just keep it as standard. Maintain your standards. Don't serve anything old to your clients. Keep a maximum of 3 days for any product. 2 to 3 days, any product in fridge. So this is going to be slightly, a laborious process. You can do this in the oven also, but the quantity is not too much. So I'm just going to do it on stovetop on the saucepan. So what I'm doing is I'm first melting the white callets down, and for this use a wooden spatula only, because it's going to get super hot. Try to wear an oven mitt also to protect your hands, and don't use a silicone spatula for this. Yes.
Does oven both rods should be on?
Yeah, that is up to you guys, because every oven is different in terms of how it bakes. Sometimes some ovens bake well with just the bottom rod on. Some ovens bake well with the bottom and the top rod on. I have a convection oven, so I am not sure about this. Whatever mode you use to bake your cake, you can use the same mode to bake this as well.
Can we use white chocolate compound?
No, you cannot use compound for this recipe. Try avoiding compounds in any context, unless and until you want to do like really fast chocolate garnishes at the last minute. You can use them, but try to use chocolate as much as possible. Yeah. Okay, guys, once the live is done, try to share this in as many groups as possible, and I expect at least a few of you guys to try this recipe. And I saw a very few people trying out the pistachio cookie recipe. It's an extremely simple recipe that I shared last week, but I hardly found anybody trying out the recipe. So I'd be really happy if you can try the recipe and share it on the group. send it to me on my Instagram, wherever you can contact. Be really happy if you guys can do that. All right, so you can see that the white chocolate melted and then now it's clumping up together, right? So now is when you have to pay maximum attention to white chocolate, because it's going to be extremely sensitive to heat. Okay, so you have to keep stirring, you have to keep scraping the bottom of the pan, because it can burn really fast. So I'm just going to spread this, keep stirring this in the saucepan. So this process is going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. So if you find that the bottom of the pan is catching, you can just turn off the induction, take it off the heat. Just keep stirring this so that the heat is well distributed. And for this, guys, try to use the freshest batch of white chocolate as possible. Don't use an old batch, because old batches of white chocolate, they're quite dry and it's really difficult to caramelize them. Any other questions, Basha?
Butter have to be cooled down before incorporating with sugar.
Yeah. The butter gets incorporated with the other wet ingredients.
How does the yogurt help in this recipe?
Yogurt is going to be basically like a binding agent. It's going to be basically it's an acidic component. Yogurt is nothing but it's acidic, so it's going to react with baking soda, because baking soda is alkaline, and yogurt is going to react with baking soda to try to leaven the blondie a little bit and to make it more cakey. It also adds moisture and some kind of fat to the recipe. Okay, so it's kind of become off, kind of ivory in color. So I'm going to put this back on stove and I'm going to stir this across. Don't worry if the white chocolate clumps up. It's very natural for that to happen. You can just take it off the stove and you can just try to stir it in, because there will be still heat retained in the white chocolate. Just use that heat to distribute that and caramelize it.
Can't we caramelize white chocolate in oven?
Yeah, we can do that. I just said that you can do it in the oven, but since the quantity is super less, I don't want to do it in the oven because it can quickly burn in the oven. So if the quantity is more, I would do it in the oven. So this, I've taken like very small quantity here. That's why I'm doing it on the saucepan. So if you're doing it in the oven, what you can do is just take a aluminium tray with the silpat on it, and distribute, just spread out all your chocolate calories on it. Put it in around 150, 160 should be enough. Just slow roasting or slow caramelization of white chocolate is required. Don't put it at 170 or 180. Preferably 140 to 150 also should be good. Let it melt down slowly and let it caramelize slowly. Okay, I'm just going to take it off the stove. It's starting to get a little bit darker in color. So I'm going to stop with this because I want slightly, I don't want too dark. So I am going to transfer this immediately. If you leave it in the saucepan, what is going to happen, guys, is it's going to get super dark because the heat gets retained and it keeps cooking. Okay, okay, I know it looks a little crumbly, but don't worry. Once it cools down,
there are so many people are asking for the measurements.
Measurements are all there in the recipe card, guys. Okay, so my white chocolate is caramelized. I like the color that it's in. The amount of the caramelization that you want to give to your white chocolate is totally up to you. If you don't want to caramelize too much, you can stop a little bit well in advance. Or if you want to take it a little more deeper side, more caramelize it a little more, you can caramelize it a little more as well. Okay, so I have some cream here. Just going to warm the cream a little bit, Vivek. Just microwave that. So the cream measurements are also given in your recipe. Just warm the cream a little bit. So now what I have ready in my station is an emulsion blender or a stick blender. Make sure it's on. Okay. Just a second. Okay, so now I'm going to add the cream all at once. Stir it around a little bit. And now I'm going to emulsify it because we've broken the emulsion of the white chocolate. It's slightly on the darker side today, but this also is really wonderful flavor wise. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab my Vivek, just take it out. White chocolate ganache. So guys, this ganache needs to be let to crystallize overnight so that it comes to piping consistency. The slower and the longer you let the chocolate to crystallize, the cocoa butter to crystallize, the more stable it will be. Same applies for white chocolate ganache also. So when you're working with white chocolate ganache on your cakes, make the white chocolate ganache night prior and let it crystallize overnight. Then that will give you better results.
Is it okay to use hand blender?
No, you cannot use hand blender in this, guys. Because hand blender is meant for whisking, and we are not going to whisk, we are emulsifying it. Get this washed. Yeah. So what we're doing here is we are emulsifying, guys. We are not whisking it. So you need a stick blender to bring this together. So can you see that it's gone from being grainy to being super shiny?
Which brand brown sugar did you use for the Bolognese?
I think it's called Amrit, if I'm not wrong. You can use Mavana also, perfectly fine. We've done this with Mavana also, perfectly fine. The one that I use is there's also this version of sugar called country sugar. You can use country sugar, it's also a kind of brown sugar. Okay, so this has come out to be really nice and shiny. So now this is quite on the sweeter side salt. This is slightly on the sweeter side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a pinch of salt to cut down the sweetness of the white chocolate, caramelized white chocolate ganache. That really elevates the taste of this. So let me mix this up a little more. Okay, I'm happy with how it looks.
Do you take online workshops?
Yeah, I do take online workshops. You can find them on kartikashravanti.com, or you can just contact me on my Instagram. My Instagram handle is called Bakeman Begins. So you can get in touch with me over there, and I will tell you how to do that, how to enroll in the classes. Okay, so I'm going to scrape the ganache in. Okay, so now here you can find bits and pieces of the caramelized milk solids. Now it's totally up to you whether you want to keep them or you want to strain it out. If you keep them, you have the taste of caramelized milk solids coming onto your palate. But if you want like a really smooth one, you can simply strain it out. Just pour it on our sieve. You can see that only the creamy part of it comes out. So if you want to make big batches of this, you can definitely use the oven to caramelize. So if you want to do, yeah, so I just left it over there. So you just spread out your white chocolate in the oven on the silpat mat, and after every 3 minutes or so, depending on the quantity you take, you will have to take the tray out. Use a good sturdy wooden palette knife, wooden spatula, or you can take a heat-proof silicone spatula, or you can take de-scraper and basically just push or agitate or do this motion to the white chocolate, caramelized white chocolate in the oven, and that will try to redistribute the heat, and then you can put it back in the oven until the desired color is achieved. That may take anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes depending on the quantity, or even more if the quantity is more. So these are all the beautiful bits of the caramelized milk chocolate. You needn't throw it away. You can always add it to cookie batter, or you can add it to cake batter. It really adds a really amazing flavor to it. So for now we're not going to use this because we want our ganache to be smooth and shiny. So I'm just taking all the ganache from the back side of the sieve. It is this ganache is so luscious. It's so rich and so good. Don't skip the salt because its salt really balances out the the richness and the sweetness that comes from there. Okay, so keeping everything aside, now this is the beautiful caramelized white chocolate ganache that we have. Looks so beautiful. So I'm going to show you. So this ganache needs to be set overnight in order for it to crystallize well and be able to pipe. Now I'm going to show you a batch of caramelized white chocolate that I did previous night and set it so that we can use it today. So I have that here, and I've just cling wrapped it to touch the surface. That's exactly what I'm going to do here as well. Just going to reuse this cling wrap. Just touch it to the surface and leave it at a room temperature. I've left it at room temperature only. This ganache, however, just before using, I put it out of the fridge. Yeah, I just put it in the fridge for about 20 minutes. So it's kind of really come to the consistency that I need. So nice and pliable. It's still shiny. It hasn't split. If you heat this, it might split because it's a very weak emulsion. So make sure to heat it very gently. Don't microwave it for more than 5 or 10 seconds. Okay. So this is in the perfect consistency that I need it to be in. So I'm going to. So guys, this is after overnight crystallization and keeping it in the fridge for about 20 to 30 minutes. This is the consistency that you have. Okay. So I'm going to feed. So I'm using star nozzle like this. So I'm just going to feed this super thick and creamy. Just gonna feed a little bit. So I'm just going to check the consistency of the caramelized white chocolate ganache. Okay, so I just Okay. Okay, so this is exactly the consistency we want. We want it to hold the peak. Okay, so timing is everything. Okay, if it's not set, give it more time to set, guys. Okay, so this is perfect, nice and shiny and stiff as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna mix this in. Keep the ganache aside. So what we can do is, in case this gets tight, because we are working in an AC room, we can just add a little bit of this loose caramelized white chocolate ganache to it, just to adjust the consistency, so we can bring it back to pie cookie consistency. So I'm just going to go check on my blondie in the oven. Let me just give me 2 minutes to clean up.
I'll get it. You can also.
Okay. No. If there are any questions, you can just let me know.
Can we store caramelized chocolate long enough?
Yes, you can do that, but I prefer doing it fresh and using it.
This has to be in room temperature or fridge?
This has to be in, it can be at room temperature for about 2 to 3 days. But if you want to keep it for longer, you can always refrigerate it for about 10 minutes. Okay guys, I'll just go check on my blondie. Okay, the blondie is out. So it took about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going to insert a knife inside and it comes out clean. Okay, and also you can see that the blondie has come out from the oven and it's kind of started releasing from the sides. Okay, it's more like a cake basically, but not too cakey, so we call it a blondie. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this to cool down completely. But I'm going to, I already made a batch of blondie already, so I'm going to use that. Finishing up. So this is the one that I made. Yeah. Okay, so use the knife and just put the knife in between the blondie and the ring. You can do this in a square aluminium square tray also. Just make sure to put a piece of parchment paper at the bottom and line it also with separate pieces of parchment on the 4 sides. So this is, it's come out. So this is the thickness of the blondie we're looking at. It can be slightly thinner than that also. It's about 1 inch or so. Okay. So now we are going to begin to pipe the topping. Okay. Okay guys. So make sure everything is the correct consistency. Just a second. Release it from the bottom also before. Okay, so I'm going to bring my platter. Any questions, Mata? Any questions?
How long the cake can be in the pan after baking?
It has to completely cool down before you take it out. Okay, so I'm going to begin piping it. Okay, let me start from here. So just hold the nozzle about 1/2 inch away. Squeeze and just Just gently release the pressure. Okay, make sure to hold on there for the peaks to, you know, form a firm base so that you can pull it out. Without a fat base, it won't be stable enough. Okay, does that look beautiful? Okay, when you take the peaks out, just completely let go of the pressure and slowly just take it out. So you get that beautiful shiny peaks. Was any other questions?
Yeah.
You piping?
Same questions. How long caramelized white chocolate can be stored?
Yeah, it can be outside for up to 2 to 3 days. And
Right now, is the ganache chilled or room temperature?
it's actually at the room temperature only, because we kept it in the fridge for about 20 minutes for it to form it a little bit, and then again it's come back to room temperature. It's not very chilled. Just gonna take about a couple of minutes to finish piping this. After piping it, it'll be good to set this in the fridge for.
What is the standard size of Blandy should be while selling?
Standard size of a blondie. It's similar to that of a brownie. Brownie size would be around 3 inch by 3 inch. That'll be a good size, or 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch. Either of these two sizes would be a good size.
Can we use milk chocolate ganache instead of white chocolate ganache?
Well, you just won't know the goodness of the caramelized white chocolate anymore. If you're just using milk chocolate, it's going to be like plain sweet. But caramelized white chocolate is some other level. So you can never get the same results with milk chocolate. And trust me, it's because of the caramelized white chocolate ganache people started asking us, to make this one again and again for them on separate orders. So I don't think it's the blondie that does the magic. It's only the caramelized white chocolate. And always remember that when something is very labor intensive, and when you do something very, when you take extra efforts on something, the results are always really amazing. Okay, so I'm just cleaning up the nozzle so that I can start once again. Okay, so if your hands are hot, you may not get the stiff peaks. So make sure to wear gloves if you have warm hands. The ganache can also loosen if you have warm hands also. So make sure to be really careful with that. Don't overfill the piping bag. Yeah, sorry. Yes,
what is the percentage of white chocolate?
Well, this is Caliber white chocolate. I'm not sure what percentage is. Just check the bag, Basha. It's 28. Yeah, 28. Okay. So that's 28% white chocolate. So we're almost coming to the end of piping. Try to use a nozzle with a lot of grooves. I like this nozzle. If you have a smaller star nozzle with a lot of grooves in it, it makes a really wonderful design. Don't use 1M nozzle for this, because that has very less grooves. It doesn't give a beautiful design. Okay, so let me know how many of you guys have tried caramelizing white chocolate before. Have you guys tried caramelizing white chocolate before? Let me know in the comments. Okay.
Yeah.
Then
You have one more question.
yeah.
If we use chilled ganache for piping, will it be fine?
Yeah, you can. See, basically ganache is all about understanding the consistency, guys. So if it's chilled, if it's hard, then loosen it up. If it's loose, then chill it. You just need to understand the consistency of the ganache you're piping at. Basically, it needs to come out really nice, shiny, and it needs to hold the shape. Simple as that. Okay, now these are some chocolate caramel crispies from Caliboo. So I've just coated them in a little bit of gold luster dust. I'm just gonna place them randomly on the peaks to really stand out, complement the brown color.
Where else can we use this ganache?
You can, we in fact make caramelized white chocolate, with a brown butter cake. That's also one of our best sellers. But since it's a little labor intensive, all my interns run away because they have to caramelize white chocolate. So it's really worth it, but it's one of our best sellers. Whenever we make the caramelized white chocolate ganache, people really have complimented the cake. So it's well worth the efforts.
Is this 1M nozzle?
No, this is not 1M nozzle. This is, I think it's called French tip, if I'm not wrong. I'm not really good at remembering the names of the nozzles, but this one's got more grooves than the 1M nozzle. So anything with a lot of grooves works really well. Okay, just take your time with the piping and make sure it's nice and perfect. Okay, I think I've just placed Vivek, hazelnuts. Yeah, a few hazelnuts, the garnish. Okay, so I'm done placing the gold leaves. Gold crispies. Now I'm going to place a gold leaf on it. Chop it and give.
Chop.
Any other questions, Pasha?
Never tried caramelized white chocolate. Scared of wasting white chocolate.
Why would it go to waste? So try it and let me know, guys. If it's your first time to caramelize white chocolate, try it and let me know. It's really...
Did you use fresh cream in which brand? On
Sorry?
which? Did you use fresh cream on which brand?
Amul fresh cream, 25%. Okay, so I'm just going to add the whole leaf on top to really amp the look up. Okay, so I am also going to just add 1 or 2 hazelnuts here and there, just to finish up. So last week we infused praline paste in while making white chocolate ganache. You can actually in fact use hazelnut praline in the cream part when we were making the ganache as well. That also adds a really wonderful touch to the caramelized white chocolate ganache. It really adds a hazelnut twist to it. Okay, so that's about it, guys. Looks really rich when you open a box of this. Looks really rich and nice. So ideally I would cut this up into since it's very rich, I would cut this up into 9 pieces. Or if you want to put this entire thing in a single box, that is also fine. Or you can cut them up into 4 pieces also.
How long can we keep the blondie with ganache in room temperature?
In room temperature, it can stay up to 2 days, no problem. Yeah, can stay up to 2 days, no problem. So, how do you like this? So, I'm gonna just flaunt this a little bit, and I'm gonna show my face so that you can. Yeah, it does look like a piece of jewelry. Thank you so much. Try it out, guys. It's really simple. As you know, literally the blondie takes 5 minutes to make, and the caramelized white chocolate takes like 10 to 15 minutes to make, and you have a really wonderful piece of dessert. Now I'm going to just flip the camera to answer some of your questions. Shelf life, I've already answered. Oh, please cut to show us the texture of blondie. Yes, I'm going to do that. Just a second, guys. Sorry. Basha, hold this. I'm just going to grab the knife.
Here it is. Come.
So I think I'm just going to add, like, just going to take away a little bit from here. So when you cut it, guys, make sure to chill it a little bit, okay? Yeah, let this just a second. So it's almost like a nice cakey, moist cakey texture. Okay? Alright? You could also use brown butter in the blondie. It turns out fantastic. Okay, I'm just gonna taste this. It's yum. Actually, in fact, what you can do is you can use this. Oh, all of my interns are giving me stares because I'm making it all alone. Alright, guys. So you can actually, in fact, use this recipe for making a cake also. It really isn't like a very fudgy brownie or something. It's more like a cakey texture. So it's really nice to make it as a cake and make them as a filling in between also as a cake. Works really well. Okay. So I'm truly saying that you cannot stop with one piece. So I'm just gonna go with the second serving. Now I'm gonna flip the camera. Guys, if you have any questions regarding... Yeah, I'm just gonna... Okay, so you can make this right today and have it yourself. Okay, guys. So I'm just gonna quickly skim through the questions, answer them. Shyly, no, I never mentioned freezer at all. You have to crystallize the ganache in room temperature overnight, and then just before using, see how the consistency is. It really depends on how your room temperature is. For instance, if you're making this in Delhi during winters, it's going to set hard in the winters, okay? So at that time, you have to very gently heat it in the microwave just to loosen it up so that it comes to the consistency I used for piping, okay? It's the same thing, you do it in Delhi summers, it's not going to set overnight, okay? For that, overnight you let it crystallize, and then you're going to put it in the fridge for about 20 to 30 minutes until again the required consistency is reached, and then you're going to you're going to work with it. So the only trick to get a nice little beautiful peak with the caramelized white chocolate ganache is to just understand the consistency of the piping. It is very similar to that of dark chocolate ganache. You heat it to make it loose, you put it in the fridge to tighten it up. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I really want you all to try this out. It's really simple but really delicious recipe. Can we use Van Houten white chocolate? Yes, any Courcher chocolate is good. I've used in Calibo. You can use Van Houten, you can use Mode white chocolate also, but just don't use compound. If we don't have hand machine, what's the alternative? Unfortunately for this, to emulsify the white chocolate ganache, you do need the immersion blender. You can try the whisk, you can try to emulsify with the whisk, but it's never the same. So, any other questions? The recipe card is in the, you can just go to the album section of this group and you'll find the recipe card there, guys. I strongly recommend you all to get the immersion blender because it's so useful in so many different things. Like literally without the emulsifying blender, we don't make any kind of ganache. We don't make lemon curd, mango curd, orange curd. We don't make pastry cream. We don't make mousse. For anything at all, we use the emulsifier because it really emulsifies all the ingredients into a nice, smooth and shiny product. So if you are serious, if you're a serious baker, I would definitely recommend you guys to buy the immersion blender. If you're planning to cut it in pieces, then should we first cut and then pipe? So this is a good question. See, if you're making it well in advance, try to pipe on top of it and then use a hot knife or a knife dipped in hot water and then cut it into pieces. That will give you clean slices. What happens if you cut it beforehand and then pipe is that the sides of the blondie is actually exposed to air and gets dried out. Okay, so be very aware of serving a very moist and fresh product to your client. So make sure to have it together till the last moment, and then just before dispatching you can cut it and put it in the boxes and close it again. And even if you want to put it in the fridge, put it in an airtight container, make sure it's sealed and then put it so that it's it doesn't lose its moisture or it becomes dry on the sides. If you have to put hazelnut paste, which stage? Oh, so you guys knew that I was like, after I caramelized the white chocolate ganache, I was putting in the cream, right? So in the cream, you just add the hazelnut praline, just a tablespoon or so, and then mix it and then add it to your caramelized white chocolate, and then again emulsify it and then crystallize it. It will be just perfectly fine. Usually blondie contains white chocolate. Yeah, I told you while making blondie that it's up to you. You can add white chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, whatever you want. But here I'm not adding any chocolate chips because we have a very rich caramelized white chocolate ganache on top of it. So that's that. And anything else? Okay, guys, that's it. I am done with the session. We're done with the session. I really look forward to all of your creations. Thank you so much, everybody. Again, don't forget to share this across all the groups in order to stand a chance to win the Incredible India Amazing magazine by Tina. And Tina, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to join you guys the next weekends, but hopefully I'll try to come back here again and share some really simple but delicious recipe for you guys. And thank you so much, guys. Any other doubts, you can hit me up on Instagram on Bakeman Begins, or you can just contact me through my website also. Okay, thanks guys. Bye. Have a wonderful weekend and have a nice day as well. Bye.